Ben, a defeat tonight in the FA Youth Cup. Give us your thoughts on the game.
It's a disappointing outcome because obviously we want to stay in the Youth Cup, have a good little run in the Youth Cup. I think our ambition every year is to get first round proper, and with the group that we've got of this year group, I think it's one of the strongest we've had for probably since Sam Adaudu and Marvin and Martial's year. And they got to the first round proper, so our ambition was to match that, if not better it. But it's a cup competition. It's a day where we've turned up and probably made too many mistakes, and it's cost us, and we're now out of the FA Youth Cup, and that's a cup competition for you.
Yeah, it was overall I thought the Darts played quite well overall, dominated most of the game, but in the end they just managed to score 4 goals.
Yeah, it was a very similar story at Woking. We're just leaking goals. We probably dominated possession, but I think whereas the difference at Woking the other day we probably could have scored 11 goals. Today we probably only had the chances that we scored from. I don't think we quite created enough in the final third, and I'm not blaming the front three because of that. I think actually we didn't get it into good enough areas, or maybe it was because the runs weren't good enough, and that's something that we'll look back on. But it just didn't click tonight. It's one of the first games that we've had where we're frustrated, the boys are frustrated, and it just wasn't happening, and we just probably needed a spark from someone tonight, and we just didn't quite get that. I think the most frustrating thing was where we got to 3-3, and then we let in a goal with 2 minutes to go when we were probably on the front foot. So it looked like we were going penalties all the way, and then suddenly you're out of the cup.
Yeah. It's been overall positive start to the season with the academy boys. Sum up what it has been like since the season started, and they've come into pre-season with the new lads in as well. The
reason I was desperate for them to get round one is because of the attitude that they have. They're absolutely brilliant how hard they work, and on and off the training ground they're doing absolutely everything to get somewhere at Dartford Football Club and within the game. So that's why I'm gutted for them, and they're gutted in there now. And as we're at a little bit of a low after that, it's our first loss of the season. So it's been a brilliant start. We've worked together, there's definitely something there, but this is the first time where it's a case where it hasn't worked tonight, and we've now got to come out the other side of it. And the positive thing is our ambition every year is to try and win the league. We're never going to win the FA Youth Cup. We want to have a good run, but we're never going to go and win it. So we're out of a cup competition that we wouldn't have got towards the end of anyway. So the things that our bread and butter is the League Cup and the Kent Academy Cup at the end of the season. If we can come away with one of them and actually progress the squad in those divisions, then I'll be very happy.
Yeah, and we've spoke a lot about the pathway now that's emerged this year. Speak a bit about that and what it does for the players.
That's, to be fair, that's all I'm saying to them in there. The biggest positive, we've got Douse coming in at half time, telling them what he thinks. He's come over to Woking to watch the game and telling them what he thinks there. So already they're seeing the first team manager constantly in and amongst it. He knows all their names, they know his name, they say hello to each other on a daily basis. So that's the first positive, but the main positive is all of these boys were training with Marvin last year, Sam Adaudu, Ali, all of these boys that's amongst the first team, and now they're seeing them. Marvin's going and scoring on the weekend. Sam's been one of the better players of this season, one of the really good prospects, so they know that there's something there. They've all had sort of sniffs in training, sniffs in pre-season, and I've just said into there, I've said, you've now got a manager where some of you in here are probably going to go and get a first team appearance this year. Some of you might get more than one first team appearance, so you're in a position where every game you play, you're playing for the club, and you've got the possibility not only to be noticed elsewhere, which a lot of our players do get, but now actually getting noticed at the club that they're at. So I've just said to them all in there, we haven't got many third years this year, and it's a thing that we do now because we're under 19. So we're looking at having them for 2 more years, and we're looking at having some of them for 3 more years. So it's a process. This is a negative part of the process, but we're going to build them along, and we're going to have a strong 2 years with some of them, 3 years with the rest of them, and hopefully we see more of them out of Prince's Park.
Yeah, and looking at the academy setup overall, you've been here a few years now. What changes have you seen since you first came into now?
I think when I first came in, Darren was brilliant with it, but it was hard work with having the school set up, and ourselves, and the fact that they were playing in their year groups. I think the first change that I wanted to do was we'll go for a really strong team together, and if there's a first year that's doing well, then we can help progress them, because the boys need something to strive towards. So as much as they're happy and they know the good players, some of them are coming in and playing for the Dartford Reds in their first year, they've still got the possibility of getting into that Dartford White squad, and there has to be a progression for them to then get the final progression, which is first team football. And I've noticed that now our Dartford White squad is so much stronger and it's ready. We don't need under 23s football. We send the boys on loan if they're doing well, but at 19 years old, if they're good enough, they're ready to play in this first team, which Marvin and Sam are proving.
Ben, thanks for your time.
No worries, thank you.